guys, welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the Fourth Star Knits. My name's Heather. I'm a middle-aged lady living in Chicagoland with my 3 sons, my boyfriend, and our dog, Beckett. I have no clear vision for this episode. I have some stuff to talk about. I have some things to show you. Actually, grab some knitting, grab something to drink, and let's chit chat. I'm probably just gonna ramble a lot, so if you're not into that and you want to just skip this one, I will totally understand. But I wanted to start because I've actually been posting on Instagram, and I've been trying to respond to messages and follow people back on Instagram. It's been really fun to like scroll through and see all the new content. That's been making me really happy. But I finished my Rift sweater, and my son took some really gorgeous photos of me, which I will insert. My son is an incredible photographer, by the way, like, holy cow. Anyway, so he took some photos of me in my sweater, and I was wearing my sweater, and I was like, gosh, it just feels kind of uncomfortable. Like, it's sort of comfortable, but not comfortable, and I'm like, why is it just, so I'm like looking at it, I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it. And then I realized that I knit one of the sleeves smaller than the other one. And when I say smaller, I don't mean shorter, I mean smaller. And I'm looking at my arms, and one of my arms looks normal, like the sweater, the arm fits, the sleeve fits, everything looks good. And my other one looks like a sausage that's busting out of the casing. Hence my discomfort. But I couldn't figure out what it was because the sweater is reversible. There's no clearly defined front or back, at least in the way I knit it. I didn't do the bust darts. I did boat neck on either side. So every time I would put it on, just like one arm would just feel kind of uncomfortable. And that's why, because one of them's smaller than the other. So I'm gonna have to rip out the sleeve. I was so excited to be done, you guys. So here's what I think happened, okay? So I was finishing the sleeve on, so I was watching the presidential debate with all of my children. And it was, if you watch the United States presidential debate, there was a lot going on, okay? It was not like the typical debate. And so I'm watching, and I'm knitting, and I'm knitting, and I'm knitting, and I'm just like, I was not paying attention to what I was doing. I was watching the absolute insanity that was unfolding in front of me. And so I think that's how I managed to do this without noticing that this arm looked super freaking tiny. So, and I blocked it and everything too. I finished it, I cast off, I wove in the ends, and then I blocked it that same night. Like as soon as the debates were done, like I was weaving in my last end and washing the sweater, and I was so excited. Yeah, so anyway, here it is. I'm not gonna put it on right now because it doesn't go with what I'm wearing at all. I didn't really plan that part out, but yeah, so here's the sleeve that fits. Like, and I didn't do, so you were supposed to do a series of decreases here. I did one decrease, and that's it. And then I just knit straight all the way down because I kind of liked how this like kind of flared out at the end because I didn't decrease for it. And then this one, right? How does one not notice that big of a difference? I don't know, guys. It's a testament to how crazy the debates were. Like, seriously, my house could have burned down around me and I wouldn't have noticed, but look at how tiny that is, you guys. And you can even see, like, in the ribbing, like, I've already stretched it out so far just by wearing it a little bit. Anyway, so I'm going to have to undo this, so I have never had to take off a sleeve that I have already attached. So I don't even know where to begin with this. I'm kind of scared. I do have an entire third skein of yarn that I haven't even busted into for this sweater. But yeah, it's probably, this is all hand-dyed yarn. And so I'm kind of afraid to just like cast on the other, like just take the sleeve off and basically say, you know, it's done, and then just do a new sleeve. I don't know. Anyway, but the sweater's super cute. I did not do, so there's some finishing around the neck you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pick up and then immediately bind off. I didn't do that because I kind of liked how wide the neck was. I'm not terribly broad shouldered, but it sits like at a really good spot, like right here. So when I'm wearing a dress, a lot of it like peeks out underneath, and that was kind of the point. So my sweater's done, but not done. Okay, so I was licking my wounds, nursing my pride, I don't know, whatever colloquialism you think fits best. And so I decided that the thing to do would be to order yarn for not one, not two, but 3 new sweaters. So I have yarn coming from Beehive Yarns, which she's in England, United K, for the Sold Out in a Crop. I have yarn coming from, I can't remember, I think I just ordered it off of Webs or yarn.com or whatever, for the Clotilde cardigan and the Felix pullover. I guess whichever yarn gets here first is the one I'm gonna cast on next. But yeah, I spent entirely too much money on yarn. So I pretty much have the next 3 sweaters already like cast on in my mind. So I was having a moment. So today is October the, hold on, let me just double check. October the 3rd. See, I'm glad I checked. I was gonna say the 2nd. So it's officially spooky season, which I love, but it's also kind of a tough time for me. So not to be a downer, but since I'm sort of doing a vlog style, just blather episode, Halloween is kind of a hard season for me because my brother died by suicide a 1.5 years ago. And Halloween was his favorite holiday. Like, he was super into Halloween. He had Halloween parties. He was just like spooky season. He was just all about that. So since he's been gone, Halloween is kind of bittersweet because I miss him a whole lot. So it kind of puts me into like this, not like low, but if any of you have lost loved ones, especially if you've lost them suddenly, it's, you know what I'm talking about, that there's just like certain seasons or certain holidays, and it's not always the traditional ones. It's not always like their birthday or the anniversary of them passing or Christmas or whatever your big religious holiday is. It tends to be things that are like not that, you know, it's like weird things that'll make you like really miss them. So spooky season for me is like that. I really miss my brother Jack. And so I was just feeling kind of low, which also contributed to me using retail therapy to deal with my low point. Which I know if he were here and knew that that's what I was doing to try to make myself feel better about missing him, that I was buying copious amounts of yarn because he thought knitting was super nerdy, he would be laughing very hard right now. So yeah, so the moral of that story is I bought too much yarn. And so now I have a lot of knitting to do. And I am not done with either of the pair of socks that I owe people right now. I have not even looked at what I'm knitting for Christmas, if anything. I was gonna start a hat for my boyfriend because the last knitted hat I made for him ended up on an airplane in his seat when he wasn't in it anymore. It's a nice way of saying that he left it behind. He left a hand knitted object by me behind on an airplane. And so he doesn't have it anymore. And now he needs a new one. But I haven't done that. No, instead I bought a sweaters quantity of yarn for 3 sweaters, which was ridiculous. I also may or may not have gone on Etsy and purchased some project bags because, okay, so this is one of the dangers of Instagram, right? So you get on Instagram and you start seeing all of the cute things. I'm very susceptible to cute things. And so one of the folks that I follow had posted this amazingly cute Wednesday Addams project bag. And I was like, where did you get that bag? It is so cute. And she said, it's my friend, here's her website. And so I went on her friend's website on Etsy, and holy cow, are these bags so freaking cute. I cannot wait until they arrive. So I won't tell you the ones that I bought so that I can show them on the podcast and it can be a surprise. But I will link to her website below, and I'll put a little bar at the bottom because I can't think of what her name is right now because I did a lot of online shopping all at one time. So I don't exactly remember the names of everyone that I shopped with, which is really terrible, but we all deal with things in different ways. So there you go. So I've made a little bit of progress on my socks. I'm not going to bother to show you guys because it's really, I maybe knit an inch on my husband's favorite socks. I have not started the second sock for the pair that I owe my boyfriend's mother, which I really need to do. She has tiny feet, you guys. It takes literally no time at all to knit socks for her, and I just need to cast on and start. Maybe I'll do that after this. I have been trucking my way through the mystery knit along shawl by Casapinka, the Sharon show. So insert spoiler alert here if you are like me and are way behind this mystery knit along, which I think wrapped up like, I don't know, feels like it wrapped up 10 years ago. I'm so far behind, you guys. Anyway, so here's the shawl. I am on clue, I just started clue number 4, finally. I wrapped up clue number 3 and now I'm on to 4. So here's more of these, like, these stripes, just like in the Breathe and Hope shawl that like almost got the best of me. Now I'm doing more of these stripes. They're a lot easier the second time around, I will say, because I know what to expect. Thank you also for all of your tips and tricks about like not getting a pucker section like this. Just increase the size of your floats. Why I can't think of things like that on my own, I don't know, but that's why I have all of you lovely folks, because otherwise I would continue to be an even hotter mess, and I already am. So anyway, so look, much better floats, right? See, I'm learning. This shawl has been actually really, really great for me learning different ways to do things and learning some new stitches and working on my tension when I'm doing different kinds of stitches, because you're going from one thing to the next so quickly. So it's actually been really, really good for my development as a knitter. As much as I'm like not super duper in love with the overall effect of this shawl, like this is just a lot. It's a lot going on, you guys. But I am really digging these colors, especially this red. Like this is gonna be really cute for fall. Like I really need to finish it so that I can start wearing it, right? Speaking of fall, so I am usually not one for fast fashion. I've pretty much completely stopped shopping for clothes at like Target or anywhere. I try to buy things that I'm gonna wear over and over and over again. But I have a weakness for holiday themed clothing or seasonal themed clothing, okay? Basically, I just want to dress like Miss Frizzle. Do you remember her? Do you remember the Magic School Bus and Miss Frizzle? So Miss Frizzle instilled in me 2 things. Number 1, an everlasting love for science. And 2, the idea that wearing dresses that are themed towards whatever you're learning about or into that day is totally appropriate. So I bought this dress off of Amazon, which is, hold on, I'm gonna stand up so you can fully appreciate what is going on here, because this is ridiculous, okay? Because you can sort of see here maybe what's happening, but then when you look here, this is Halloween, by the way. Everything is upside down. The whole dress is upside down. It's fast fashion for you folks. That's why you don't buy clothes on Amazon. Anyway, I'm still wearing it. I'm still happy with it. When I look down, it looks perfect. So there's that. I don't know what Miss Frizzle would say about this. I'm sure she would say something really encouraging, like, I don't know. See, I'm not Miss Frizzle, so I can't come up with anything encouraging. I'm just gonna look down at my dress and try to forget that the print is completely upside down. So I wanted to show you something that I purchased on Etsy recently that came just the other day. It's super cute. So this is totally the fault of the Needles at the Ready guys. I was watching their podcast and they were showing off some Happy Meal that they got from this Etsy shop. And I was like, that is amazing. I have to, and they had a coupon code, right? Or a discount code. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go look and see, you know, what's going on, because, you know, why not, right? And I was like in love with this person's artwork. So this is by Pacific Moon Knits. And I don't know how long that coupon code is good for Needles at the Ready, but I'll link to their episode below where you can go get that if you're interested. It is not my coupon code, so I'm not gonna post it. You guys gotta go check out Needles at the Ready if you wanna get it. But anyway, so she sends this little note. I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. Thank you, Heather, for your support. Love, Sarah. Super cute. Okay, so this is what I bought. Oh, Kim and Tracy, if you are watching this right now, click off until I tell you to come back. Just give it like, just fast forward like a minute or 2 minutes. But you need to click off if you want to be surprised. Oh, okay, so anyway, enough blathering. This is what I bought, you guys. It is a little Deathly Hallows cauldron. This is what sold me, are these little tiny bubbles. I hope you can see them. Can I like I don't know how to do this. Just put your hand here or something. Can you see that kind of? Look at the little bubbles. They're so cute. So I got a stitch marker for myself and I got the lever back kind. And then, so I'm pretty sure I think she had 3 of these and I bought all 3. So I don't know if there's gonna be any more of these in her shop, but if you want, you can go check. But then I got 2 other ones for my friends Kim and Tracy. And they're not knitters. Tracy's a crocheter, but I thought they could use these as like, put them on like a necklace, or they're just so cute. We're all huge Harry Potter fans, so it was, you know, had to do it. And packaging was so cute. Came in like a cute little teal box. The box matched it. I love it when everything's like all matchy-matchy. It's super cute. And then she sent me these too, like these are gonna be great for socks. Look how tiny they are, but they're like Halloween colors, like black and orange. Here, if I hold it in front of my face, does that work? I probably need to record on something other than my phone at some point. This packaging just kills me. How cute is that? So yeah, teeny tiny stitch markers. I'm stoked. I have not gotten around to making my own stitch markers yet. I still have all of the box of stuff right there on my coffee table. Not an appropriate place to leave your craft supplies, but you know, my house, my rules. I need to get on that though. Oh, you guys have had the best suggestions. There was the suggestion of resin, epoxy, I think, just doing glitter. So I will probably do some combination. Well, I don't know about the resin. I've never done resin before. I'm worried if I pour it in the glass that it will, because doesn't it expand a little bit? I need to do more research, but that's such a great idea. Also, if I did resin, I could do like teeny tiny little like eyeballs in there, or little tiny spiders, or like the possibilities are endless. Today, I was supposed to get up early and go to the butcher's with my boyfriend and stock up. We are voracious carnivores here, so and so are all 3 of the children. But so we go to this restaurant supply butcher's like once every 2 or 3 weeks and stock up, because we go through a ridiculous amount of food here with my 3 teenagers And my boyfriend too. As I mentioned in my last episode, he really likes food. He's also an amazing cook. So if there's like good ingredients in the house, then wonderful things will happen in my kitchen that I have nothing to do with. So anyway, I woke up this morning with allergies that were like trying to kill me, and it was not good. So I ended up not doing that. Boyfriend went by himself, God bless him. And then I was also supposed to decorate the outside of my house with Halloween decorations, because even though, well, I think we're having trick-or-treating by us, but the world's just weird right now. But I figure at least we can decorate for holidays, right? That's still okay in the world. I did not do that because it is cold and it is raining here in Chicagoland. So it's been actually really cold all week. I went outside, I cleaned up a little bit, I fed the birds and the squirrels. I feed my squirrels, I do. It's that time of year. I know they're trying to put on an extra layer of fat. They're getting ready for the winter. And so I just dump ridiculous amounts of birdseed out there for them along with other treats because I'm a sucker. Anyway, so I was doing that, and so I call her Mama Squirrel. She's the biggest, the fattest. I'm pretty sure she is the mama that I see in the spring. She's been around for a few years. And normally I see her with little ones in the spring. That's why I call her Mama Squirrel. But anyway, so she was out in the backyard, and over the summer we had a birthday party for my boyfriend, and I decorated with, he's Mexican, so I decorated with like decorations that are typical for like Mexican get-togethers. And they're these big orange fluffy, I'll find a picture and insert it, but they're these big orange fluffy ball things on a garland, and they were just all around the yard. And I liked them so much that after the party, throughout the summer, I just left them up because they're weatherproof, they're plastic, and they looked super cute. So I just have them all over. So I look out in the yard, and Mama Squirrel has one in her mouth, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she yanks it and drags it all the way up my tree, which is like, my tree is probably 10 stories high, and her nest is like almost at the very tippy top. I mean, this is a very, very tall tree. It's old. And so now there are garlands of bright orange in the tippy top of my tree. I don't know if she was planning on decorating her nest with them and then thought better of it or what, but I literally watched her drag one up there, and now it's just this bright orange beacon that I can't wait until winter comes and all the leaves are down and there's just these Mexican decorations, Mexican party decorations all over my winter naked tree. And then what am I supposed to do? Put a sign up that says the squirrel did it? Yeah. I feel like my life has been like a comedy of errors lately. So anyway, that's about it for knitting content. Not that the squirrel story was knitting content at all. Yeah, I really don't have anything else to say. This will probably be a pretty short episode. So since we talk about books a lot, I think I'm going to just, at the end of my episodes, talk very quickly about what I am watching and reading and listening to. Just because I really enjoy when other knitting podcasts include that kind of stuff. Just because I enjoy watching and listening to things, especially while I'm knitting. So right now I just finished Big Damn Hero, which is part of the Firefly series, and I just started the Outlander series. So very excited about that. I also realized that, so I really love this series by, gosh, what is her name? Is it Megan Wallen? Oh my gosh. Why do I talk about things that why can I not remember anything? Well, okay, we know it's because my thyroid is a mess, but I feel like I should be able to remember things that I literally just looked up yesterday. But anyway, so Megan Whalen Turner, is that it? But anyway, so she wrote this series called The Queen's Thief. And so the first book is called The Thief. And this series started like 20 years ago. And thank God I only discovered it a few years ago, because if I had to wait that long for like the final book to be, like if I had started this 20 years ago and then had to wait this long, between that and the Kingkiller Chronicles and Game of Thrones, I would just be like, no more books ever, no more series ever, because I can only get my heart broken so many times. Patrick Rothfuss, I am talking to you. Anyway, so the final book in the series is coming out in like 3 days. I did not even know. It was such a happy surprise. So I am going to drop everything and read the final book in the series. It's called The Thief Returns. Super excited. If you like fantasy, like world building kind of stuff, this is a great series. There's an excellent review by a booktuber that I love. I will link her below. She does a much better job than I ever could describing why this series is so freaking awesome. And it is not your usual like the typical like fantasy YA tropes are really not included. This series it included a lot of like twists and turns that really caught me off guard, and the character development was super realistic. Like it made you feel like these were real people that actually existed. Anyway, I highly recommend it. Super excited to delve into that book once it arrives. I did pre-order it. As soon as I knew it was being released, I pre-ordered it, even though it's only coming out in a few days. But I have been watching The Designated Survivor, which I know was a show that came out a while ago, but it is so good. And it kind of makes me wish that I could vote for Tom Kirkman for president. Like, I don't want to get political on this podcast. I just really love Tom Kirkman's character. I'm super into this series. Like, I can't even tell you how into this series I am. So it starts off, without giving away like huge spoilers, because it's basically the entire premise of the show. Kiefer Sutherland, who was the main character in 24, if you watched that, which was also a very good show. Kiefer Sutherland plays a member of cabinet, and he is the designated survivor, which, if you don't know, anytime there's a State of the Union address or any other event where all the government is in one place, they have folks who are the designated survivor, and they go to a bunker, and they're basically like set aside in case all the government gets wiped out, that the succession for presidency is preserved, which is very cool. As I've been learning more about this, I realized that other countries do not necessarily have this kind of thing in place. Like the United States is somewhat unique in this, is what I am finding out as I research this more, which I find incredible. But anyway, so there's a State of the Union address that occurs. The president, vice president, the House, the Senate, everybody is at the Capitol building, and the Capitol building gets bombed. Everybody gets taken out, and so he's like the Secretary of Housing, Kiefer Sutherland's character, and he becomes the president of the United States under these just incredibly crazy circumstances. And the whole country is up in, in an uproar. And yeah, and so the whole, it's just like, it's really, really, really good. And you learn a lot too about how the American government works as well. Like just these little things that you didn't realize, like, it's interesting because like there's a point where something like the 25th Amendment comes into play, and if you don't know what that is, you should right now, especially because the President of the United States is sick with COVID-19, so this is something that's being talked about in the news. The 25th Amendment is what allows the Vice President to take power in the event that the President is incapacitated. I did not know that that's what the 25th Amendment was, so I've been learning like little things like that throughout watching the show too. That's what I'm watching, Designated Survivor. Highly recommend it. So I wanted to put a question out to all of you folks. So I think I've mentioned before, but I really enjoy like planners and stuff like that. I'm a planner nerd on top of all of the other layers of nerdery that make up all of this. I really like Happy Planner. I have way too much Happy Planner stuff, but I really enjoy stickers and stationery and all that stuff. And planning is something that I have to do anyway because I manage my personal life, my work life, my 3 children's schedule, my boyfriend, you know, all this stuff. So if you have to do it anyway, there may as well be cute stickers involved. That's my view. But I wanted to know if you guys who do planning or just in general, do you track your knitting progress like in your planners or like in a journal or anything like that? I was watching the Bakery Bears and she was doing, and this is an episode that came out a while ago. If I can find it, I'll link it below. But she has this notebook where she was tracking like different like sock patterns that she was doing and different color schemes for the sock patterns. And I thought that was so cute. I don't know. I'm not good with like colors and things like that. I'm the kind of person where like if there's a kit to do something, I will buy the kit because I feel like I don't have a good sense of colors a lot of the time. Like if I'm just picking one color, I'm fine. 2 colors usually can handle that. Once it goes more than 2 colors or I'm trying to like fade things together or whatever, just it gives me anxiety. To put it in perspective, the yarn that I bought for 2 of the 3 sweaters, the Soldotna sweater was a kit. The 2 other sweaters are both gray. So, you know. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, so if you guys do planning, do you do something with like tracking your knitting? And if you do, like, I'm really curious to know like how you do it. So like if you can't really put pictures in the comments, can you? But like I was looking for like inspiration on YouTube or on Instagram. But when you search up like knitting planning and stuff like that, that kind of stuff doesn't really seem to come up. So anyway, I was just curious because that's something that I would totally include in my planner. Here, I'll show you since my planner is right here. It's never far away from me because this is like my entire life. I was just doing meal planning for this week, this morning, which I actually really like cooking this time of year. And normally I do not like cooking. Like cooking to me is a necessary evil. I think I've said this before, but I would live on peanut butter sandwiches and nothing else. Like, yeah, peanut butter sandwiches, smoked salmon, pumpernickel bread. Yeah, if I could live on those things and that tuna fish. Yeah, tuna fish, smoked salmon, pumpernickel bread, peanut butter. Not all together, but separately. Could live off of those things. I do great in an apocalypse because all of those things last forever. What was I talking about? My gosh. Oh yeah, meal planning. Wow. Okay, I know you guys have seen me drinking beer. This is how much beer I've had out of this fat tire, and this is my first one. So I was doing meal planning. I was talking about cooking. Normally I don't enjoy cooking. This time of year I kind of do. It feels cozy. I like to make a lot of like Midwestern comfort food. So if you're not from the Midwest, first of all, I'm sorry, because you're missing out when it comes to comfort food. But comfort food in the Midwest generally involves a 9.5 by 11 inch Pyrex glass pan, some sort of grain like rice or pasta, several cans of cream of something soup, whether that's cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, cream of celery, some sort of ground beef or cut chicken, and a ton of cheese or some other dairy product like sour cream or sour cream and cheese. I mean, any combination of those things together, you bake it in a pan, it comes out and it is utterly delicious and it will also clog your arteries and kill you, but it's delicious. So I enjoy fall comfort food cooking. I made tuna casserole a while ago when it was a little chilly outside, and I forgot how much I absolutely love tuna casserole. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I was doing meal planning, and meal planning now is really funny because so I grew up like all over the Midwest, like pretty much like every major town in the Midwest. So like Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, Des Moines, like places like that. That's where I grew up. So lots of like down home cooking, you know, kind of, again, big pans of dairy and gluten. Okay. And now that I live in Chicagoland, well, I've lived here for a while, but anyway, what was I talking about? Okay. So my boyfriend is Mexican American, which I think I said before. So our menus consist of like very traditional Mexican foods that he is very good at cooking. Oh my goodness. And then my giant pans of gluten and dairy. So, yeah. It's been really fun, like kind of mixing these, you know, these two very different cultural backgrounds. And so, yeah, we eat really well is where I'm going with that. Although, I'm still not used to the fact that he puts hot sauce on everything. Everything, you guys. Like, I'm originally from Minnesota, and back in the 80s, I'm pretty sure we didn't like even know hot sauce was a thing. Like, I don't think I even encountered hot sauce until I was an adult. I remember working at the grocery store in my late teens, and a friend of mine always liked to get chicken from our deli at the grocery store, and then he would put like this green sauce on it. And that was like all I knew about hot sauce forever. My boyfriend puts hot sauce on literally everything. He puts it in like beef stew. He puts it on tuna casserole. He put it on beef stroganoff. Like, I've had to learn not to be offended by this, because to me it feels like, well, then it must not have enough flavor if you have to put hot sauce on it. But no, that's not the case. It has plenty of flavor. It just doesn't have enough heat. So yes, like we have in our cupboards, we have all of our regular spices. There's inexplicably like 10 different jars of adobo seasoning. And then there's an entire cupboard dedicated to his collection of hot sauce. So these are sometimes the concessions that you need to make when you are in a committed relationship. You will sometimes be called upon to dedicate some of your precious cupboard space to someone's hot sauce collection. It is what it is. Yeah, that was a long and rambly whatever when it comes to, I don't know, whatever this is. What was I talking about? I was talking about my planner. This is my planner. Look at this beefy girl. This is crazy. This is what it takes to manage a household sometimes. Anyway. But yeah, I would be really interested to know if you guys include, if you are planner nerds, if you include any kind of like knitting progress in your planner, and like how do you do that? And if you are somebody who has a YouTube channel where you talk about your planning or you include your knitting in your planning, please let me know so that I can follow you and get some inspiration, because I'm not really sure how to do that. I'm pretty, I wouldn't say I'm vanilla with my planning, but I have not leveled up to like include my knitting in here. I pretty much use Ravelry for that, and even that I'm pretty terrible at keeping up with that. So this has rambled on a really long time. Thank you for sticking around if you have done so. And if you haven't, I don't blame you even a little bit. This was just kind of a off-the-cuff thing that I just decided to do since I have the house to myself and it's quiet, and I just felt like podcasting, so here I am. Anyway, I hope that you all have a fantastic week, that you are staying safe and staying strong, and I will catch you on the next one, hopefully with a sweater that has 2 sleeves that are knitted the same size. No promises, but I'm going to do my best. We'll see you guys on the next